I haven't been drinking. That would be a different confession if I was like, you look like the sun! Just a horrible, horrible show for all. But here's the confession part. I like to drink by myself sometimes. I live alone. I come home and have a cocktail hanging out with myself, and I love it. Why are so many people act like drinking always needs a witness? There's a bad way and a good way to drink alone. Just like there's a bad way and a good way to drink in public. You can't be like in your kitchen just like, Jaeger bombs! Also, the booze at my house, I'll tell you something about the booze at my house. It's free. Free of charge. If you lived in a pizzeria, would you go out to get pizza? If you lived in a noodle factory, would you send out for noodles? If I make another stupid analogy, will you understand my point? Drinking at home's the best. I just plain don't want other people to see me drunk. A bunch of spectators standing around watching as I forget basic vocabulary and try to control my equilibrium. Just like, look, top heavy almost fell over trying to pick up that cigarette machine. Being home alone drunk just makes my night at home way better. Suddenly that Boy Meets World DVD is hilarious. Just me, a little sip of rye, Topanga, talking back to the TV like, I don't care what anybody says, you're the best savage, brother. Let the world have Fred. I'm a Ben guy all the way. Crying a little bit for no reason. But here's the best part of drinking at home, all by your lonesome. You don't need to know the bartender. You are the bartender. He knows just how you like it, and he gives the best hand jobs.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Marvin, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah! Packed house tonight, Pete. You're listening to The Wort on Gubs Radio. Phone number here, 516-465-3990. I'm coming in hot, like it's second break kind of entrance there.
It is hot.
Well, okay, yeah, it was kind of hot. I apologize. In the studio today, Sarah from the Brewers Collective.
Hello.
She's
hello.
here.
Yes,
Welcome.
I made it.
I don't want to say it's the first female in studio, but it's a very rarity. We do have females in the studio. We have Mike, and we have Chris. Chris? Yes, I got the names right. And a quick introduction as I came in, and we were busy getting the studio set up. How's everybody doing tonight? Pete, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy there's alcohol here. Work sucks, and I'm ready to be here and drink and talk about beer.
Everyone on GubsRadio.com listening in, you can go over to our YouTube page. We are streaming the show live on YouTube today. We're going to try to do the entire show because we got an Ethernet cable, and it will stream the whole thing without delay or problems.
Hooray.
Right now, what I did notice is we're doing a camera in camera because we have two cameras in here today, and I'm covering Chris's head. I apologize. Easy to duck
And
down
we're
and say
staring at
hi.
your mic and not you.
Yeah, and really, like, the corner of the screen over here is just my head. So I brought a hat today so I didn't look like I was going bald, the lights and everything. It's true. Yeah, so we're in
You don't have to feel
I'm very bald.
out of
Governor's
place.
Comedy Club in Levittown, New York, streaming live on YouTube, streaming our audio on GubsRadio.com. And again, check out all of our previous podcasts on our YouTube page. Right now, we don't really have a RSS feed set up, but that's soon to come, and soon to come to iTunes with all the other shows here at Gubs Radio. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, and any of those who join us later, we'll appreciate you ahead of time.
Sure.
I'm going to try to use the word appreciate
yeah.
a lot less tonight.
That would be
But
great.
that'll be hopefully the one and only time I do it.
Everyone would appreciate it.
Shut up. Listen, I'm going to find something you say, and I'm just going to dig it into the ground. Yup.
Probably
Yeah,
the
that's
It's probably the F-bomb.
well, then we're all going to fucking say it, so it doesn't make a difference.
Should we just get it out now?
Yeah, you could. Absolutely.
Hey, all right.
Fuck,
A.
fuckity, fuck.
And it gets me all my bleeps I have to do later up out of the way,
Sweet.
and then we can move forward from there. So, Sarah, thanks very much for joining us.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having us.
So I didn't get the time this week to read a very large bio on you. All I know of you is from your Instagram and kind of what we discussed right before the show.
Okay.
So why don't you give us a little background on yourself, and then you transfer that into the Brewers Collective, and let's hear a lot about that tonight.
All right, cool. Yeah, so I'm one of the 6 founders and members of the Brewers Collective. I'm a native Long Islander. I grew up in East Islip and went to East Islip High School, and then I went to SUNY Albany. So I've been a New York girl my whole life. And yeah, when I went to school, not for any beer-related things, but I was an information science and policy major,
Oh,
and
wow.
a computer science and sociology minor.
So you kind of knew what we were doing around here a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, a
All
little
right.
bit. I was, just taking it all in. It was good. I'm a little out of practice now, but
All right.
yeah, no, and I translated that into a short career in pharmaceuticals, previous to
Legal or illegal?
Oh, legal, very legal.
Sometimes in the studio, that turns into a whole other conversation that we're used to.
But yeah, no, I did that for a little bit, and then yeah, and I'm actually. I left that once I started my family, and I am a proud mom of two little ladies, and I've been home with them for a couple of years.
Peeking.
Yep, two girls.
2 girls, yep, same.
Yep, they're
yep.
a goddamn handful.
Oh, absolutely. They're getting locked in ivory towers, and we'll let them down when they're 22 to 25.
Yeah.
Mm, that's my
Yep.
plan.
That's about right.
Yeah. So,
On the other hand, I'm going to let my son spray semen everywhere.
oh my.
And it took a weird turn early tonight.
Like, right away.
Now.
Listen, I'm getting it out of there. Might as well just let it all air out tonight.
And I'm keeping your son away from my
Yes.
phone. All right.
Yes, we're in 2 different districts, so I think we'll be all right.
Nice. Yeah, no, and yeah, I guess my husband Tim, we've been together since we were 19. We're together 17 years.
Oh, high school
this
sweethearts.
year. Yeah, well, technically
Kinda,
college
yeah.
sweethearts, whatever. But I've had a crush on him since 8th grade. But that's a
Oh, there you
whole
go.
other story. Yeah.
From the same town and went to the same high school and
Yes,
everything?
Really,
all right, there
yes,
you go.
we
Wow.
did.
He
Yeah.
didn't stand a chance. She had that locked in, radar set.
Seriously.
Oh, absolutely. I'm like,
He
this
was
guy's
done.
Early age.
Yeah.
He was done. Have a chance.
That's right. That's right. And he looked just like Kurt Cobain. So I mean, come on.
Nice.
Not anymore. Now he's just
Oh.
a large Viking man with an orange beard. It's no complaints here. Anyway, but yeah, and it's all his fault that I'm into beer and into brewing and in the Brewers Collective and all that. But yeah, I guess. I don't know. When we talk about the Brewers Collective, yeah.
Yes, well,
Yeah.
we'll go around the
We'll
room
go,
here a
yes,
little
do
bit
a
and
round,
see what we have
round
for
table.
our buddy Mike here. Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well. How
Oh,
you
hey,
doing?
we'll go like
They
this.
call me Stretch.
Stretch.
Yes.
I used to be called that. I was tall, lanky, skinny. You're tall. What are you, 6'3"?
6'6".
Well, holy shit.
Yeah.
I was sitting down when he came in. I'm like, yeah, he's all right. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I hit my head more times
Slim,
than
yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
I can. Well, Pete too. What are you, 6'2"?
So we have
No,
20
no,
foot
it's
ceilings
like
in the
six,
brewery.
6'1".
Just for
Yeah.
you.
No, you're my height, aren't you?
How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Then you're
Close.
taller.
Yeah, then, well, maybe a little bit. 6'6" is pretty tall.
Yeah.
That's
See, when
sports.
yeah, I used to play basketball.
There you
but
go.
Now I just play with beer.
Yeah. So what's your role here, Mike? What do you do for
I'm
everyone?
I'm a little bit of everything
Nice.
at the brewery. Yeah, from brewing to
Okay.
building out the place.
Okay.
And, yep.
So Pete was at the brewery this past weekend.
Yep. Went down Friday night.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It was a band. There was a food truck.
Hell yeah, that was
It's pretty
a good
freaking
night.
cool. It was awesome.
I had a blues
So
band.
I saw a little bit of the live feed. I think it was that night,
yes,
right? They did an Instagram live feed that night.
That was me.
Oh, it was you? Oh.
yes.
I didn't know that. I was at work. I work at a bar on Friday nights, and I saw
cool.
it pop up, and I went, oh, shit. So I wanted to see if Pete was going to be in the live feed. I didn't get to see it. It might
Oh,
have been
thank goodness.
before or after you
Makes
were
me
in there.
uncomfortable.
I think I did the
You
live
can't
feed
control it now,
shortly
you're
after
right.
you
I
left, I
know.
think, yeah.
Yeah. So I saw. I've never been, and I was disappointed I couldn't go because Pete was, and then we couldn't make something happen on Saturday,
Yeah.
and so we really wanted to get in there before
Adulting gets in the way.
right, and all the sports and running around and nonsense. So from what I saw, though, you had a live
We
musician.
did. Yeah, we try to
playing.
have live music as often as possible.
There was a bunch of dates on the board, like
Oh,
food
yeah.
trucks,
Oh, we're full.
bands
We're
there.
booked for
Like,
the next 2 months.
yeah,
Nice.
Everything
It
going
was awesome.
on. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it looked like a good scene. I like
big
the
place.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the size because some are
Including
a little.
our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So when is that
coming
coming
up?
up? Is it
Our
a
birthday
couple-
party is May
next month,
12th.
right?
May
That's
12th.
right.
Yep,
12th.
1 o'clock.
Is that
Actually,
after
the
Beer Week?
15th of April
It's
is
the
our
it's the
first.
kickoff of Craft Beer Week. It's
Holy
the second
balls.
day, so
Good
There
times.
you go.
Good times.
What's May 12th? Is that
Saturday.
Saturday.
all day.
Saturdays
All
are good.
One
day.
till you fall down.
Pretty much. Yep.
I got to do some parenting at one point in that 24-hour span, so I'll shift
Yeah,
some
try
shift
from,
some weight
like,
somewhere.
midnight.
I'm
till
already thinking
12.
of like, well, I don't think I have anything that weekend, and now I definitely don't have anything that weekend.
Yeah, I
There's a
plan
birthday
not to
party on
parent
Beer
for
Week.
2 days.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, like I said, I like the layout of the place, nice and big, sprawling. You got benches, you got area for the live band, and does it get a little crazy when some bands come in?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we haven't had like any like thrash metal bands or like.
No, I
anything,
mean, but,
you
like,
know.
When are they showing up?
Well, at some point, I'm telling you.
Crowded?
Yeah, we got one.
Crowded wise?
Yeah. I mean, like dance floor wise, I guess.
It fills up, but
Yeah.
it never feels crowded there. It's
Right.
2,000 square feet of brewery.
Wow.
It's a big space.
Tasting room. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
a
then,
large
right
space.
behind because the bar is here when you're walking on the right, correct? Right behind the bars
Adjacent to
where
that is the brewing
is the brewing
area,
area,
which
okay.
is another 2,400 square feet.
wow. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
just as big, if not a little bigger.
a little bit bigger.
Wow.
Correct.
So what do you guys have for equipment over there? We usually don't go too deep into equipment, but
Why
Yeah.
not?
Well,
run us down the specs.
Yeah. Well, it's a little small for where we're at right now because we just moved from in the same building. We just expanded. So
Okay.
we were 1,200 square feet, right? And
Just
now
over 1,200.
just over
square feet.
1,200. So we
With a 400 square foot tasting room.
yes. And
So
now
it
we're
was
2,000.
smaller.
We
Yes.
opened up a year ago our tasting room
Okay.
on April 15th, and obviously we outgrew
Double,
it
yeah.
in a quick way. So
That's awesome.
we decided, 2,000 feet would host our friends and family. a little
Absolutely.
Forever
better.
Brewery now.
And I
so,
mean,
yeah.
family meaning all of our friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Which
It
is,
definitely holds enough. Like I said,
Yeah.
I saw the nice, space that you had there, and I very much like having a little room to roam.
Oh, it's nice, and
especially when
it's
you're
20-foot ceilings too, so you don't ever
Yeah.
feel
Yes.
cramped, and it's nice
Yep.
breezes
Yep.
coming down. But yeah, no, we're a 3-barrel system. We're an electric system, stout. We have a couple of barrels and a couple of 1-barrel unis that we have for
Okay.
some
We
special
just picked
editions
up
that
a
are coming.
couple uni tanks that we're gonna do a IPA program with.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna start that.
So it's
up
gonna be
this
like a
week.
recurring series of
Yes.
stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Straight to
different.
cans, all
Yeah,
that.
so
Nice.
this way we can control,
Just that's
right.
yeah.
Smaller batches.
Okay.
Get them out quicker.
Nice.
Yeah, and then we're hoping to, because 3 barrels is roughly like 92 gallons or so and we brew twice a week. So
Wow.
we're just making the demand in our tasting room, and really not quite because we have a good amount of, and I'm sure you saw a good
There were a
amount
lot of
guest
taps to fill there.
A lot of them, 24 taps. So yeah, and we have some of our buddies on the island. Brewery friends that have hooked us up with some really
Yeah.
great kegs to
Yeah, there
kind of
was,
get us through this
Fire Island I saw on the
transition.
board.
Fire Island, Great South
Aldo
Bay,
Fago, yep, Great South
Lithology,
Bay,
and
St. James,
St.
and
James.
Mustache Brewing, and Mustache actually had kicked I think the day before you got there. They're going to be on this coming
James.
week.
Yeah, James Wort I think kicked before I got
Oh,
there.
St. James, yeah, St.
Yes,
James did, yeah.
yeah,
What did they have on there? The double, the triple?
Oh no, the apple palm.
Ooh, I didn't
Yeah.
get that one yet. I haven't had
It
that
was
one yet.
delicious.
Delicious.
Do we have the double? Did you and I have the
Triple.
double? We had the triple.
Oh, the triple's
That was
nice
good.
Too.
Ooh,
That
yeah,
was
it was.
really good.
Yeah, we just picked up the wheat beer from them, the Rochelle Blanche.
Cool.
It's going to come on.
Yeah, they do a great job with those. You would really, we should go out there. That's an
Yes.
easy one.
Well,
Holbrook
and
area.
you got the 3 of
St.
them right
James area.
in a row, which is nice.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
right in that area. The 1940s and
Oh,
then,
yeah, yeah.
And then
Spider Bite.
Square,
Spider Bite.
Squareheads.
And then Squarehead's opening, yeah.
Squarehead's
Oh, that's right,
opening
Squarehead's
up
opening.
also,
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think on
Yep.
420 they're opening.
Yeah,
right?
on
Jeez.
420.
So many damn breweries
Soft
now.
opening.
It's
Yeah,
great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
They're like little hotspots, That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a
I
little
love it.
central hotspot there.
Hive mind,
Just
I like it.
outside of Patchogue, obviously if you're up there, you can kind of, I guess filter your stuff into that huge. I was in Patchogue for Saturday night. That's where I
okay.
was, and it was crazy. But there's so many new restaurants and bars there, all looking for their unique lineup
Yep.
of draft systems. So that's awesome. Let me ask you a question because the way you're speaking, you guys all seem to be very collaborative. How did this all start?
Okay, it's a little bit of a long story.
And that's fine. We have
all
3
right.
hours.
3 hours, okay. All right, I think
Spread it out.
this is just long enough. All right. Well, okay, so the Brewers Collective started actually right around 2007.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're about 11 years, I guess, in concept now. But we started off as a homebrew club. It was just me and a bunch of dudes hanging out, brewing beer. My husband Tim is sort of the glue of the Brewers Collective in the sense that it was all people that he knew that brewed.
Okay.
And we brought it together because we started home brewing, I guess we were about 21, maybe 22. We went and got like our first kit from Arbor Wine and Islip, and I think we made a Dunkel for some weird reason because we were like, oh, well, let's challenge
Because
ourselves.
Dunkels are delicious.
Yeah, well, they are
Yes, they
delicious.
are.
That's true. So we started brewing. It was me and Tim and our friend Matt. We used to call ourselves the TMS Brewing Company. And so we, it's just I was the beer guardian. I'm like, guys, that's boiling over, and Mom's gonna kill us, So because like everyone else, like you brew inside first. You learn your lesson quickly that you can't do that shit inside because you're gonna ruin your parents' kitchen or your kitchen. And so then we quickly moved out to the deck and the driveway and had our own. Because once you get one cool piece of brewing equipment, homebrew equipment. You want to get the next cool piece, and
And move
so
to the
on and so
garage,
forth.
and then right out into the
Yes.
lawn, and then eventually you need a shed, and
Yes, the brew shed. Yes,
you need the brew shed.
So we were brewing for a while, and then when Tim got his most current job, actually he's actually still there now. There was a bunch of people that brewed there already. Like this guy, Joe Valla, one of our founders, he made this pumpkin beer, and it was like he used to like sell a couple bottles of it around like fall season. And Tim's like, man, this shit is delicious. Like I gotta make my own pumpkin beer. And
Well, where was
then-
he selling it to? Was it just
Oh, just kind of like just to everyone
knocking
that was
on
working
doors
there.
like Girl Scout
No,
cookies?
no,
To his
yeah,
buddies and
just to
stuff?
his buddies. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Oh, all
you know,
right.
because he was known for it, because his recipe was delicious. And then that sort of we started sort of sharing ideas and.
Did he rim the glasses?
Oh God,
Like,
no!
that's
No
not a
rim,
pumpkin
rim
beer.
jobs at the Brewers Collective.
No,
No,
we do
right.
actual.
No,
we do
no.
actual
Noted.
pumpkin at the
Yes,
Brewers
yeah,
Collective.
real pumpkin. Yeah.
Yeah,
if
I
you
go
need
out
a rim
and
job,
pick
you're
it.
doing it wrong.
I go out and pick the pumpkin myself.
No, he really does.
Yeah, no, for real.
No, but yeah.
I
So
like doing the foraging.
you're a forager. Yeah. So we
That's the
we
good
were
stuff.
brewing, and
Yes,
then we met
that's
up with
what
a couple.
makes it.
Do you get a
the
stick
best
and just
part
poke
of it.
at him like that's not one? That's not. the
No,
one."
no, I kick them.
Nice.
Yeah, my
What
foot
makes
goes
a good
in them, they're
pumpkin?
not good.
Because they're not good. Takes off a little bit. Now we're talking.
If
Get
it,
that guy.
if it hurts, it's no good either.
Move on.
It's got a dent a little bit.
Just the right amount of give
yeah,
to the boot.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So we were so a bunch of different home brewers came together, and at work they'd all be talking about brewing and stuff. And this one guy who's part of his family was part of that brewery in Brooklyn. I forget the actual name, the one that we had the beer
Not
tray
Brooklyn
of.
Brewery.
Not Brooklyn Brewery. No. Of course,
Oh,
like,
peers.
yeah, Peels. Like it became Peels, but prior to that, it was
Yeah.
whatever. The guy came from a beer family, and
Okay.
he's like, look at you fucking guys. You're like you're a collective. And then Joe was like, yeah, we're the Brewers Collective, and he first spoke the words, and they kind of stuck. We're like, yeah, we like that Brewers Collective. So we had a few members, and at one point I think we were almost like 12 or 13 members, and we would really we would brew. There were a few homebrew clubs on the island, and like we weren't like that into it that we wanted to be like formally part of a club. We kind of wanted to do our own thing, just brew some beer. And we had like this we have a mug that we would have like for our quarterly competitions. We'd pick a style for the fall, for the spring, for the summer. We'd all brew it. We'd get all our friends together at one of our houses, and we would blind test, and like said, and you would have fill out score sheets and stuff, and and then there would be like real winners, and it was a lot of bragging rights, and that went on for like a really long time. We all just upgraded our stuff and just got into it more, but we always did it. It never stopped. And then we would do like big like homebrew day, like Blue Point used to host that.
Yeah,
They still do, I think. And so we would go there, and we got to know a couple of the brewers there. So one year we were like, hey, so do you think that we could maybe pour at like the Cask Ales Festival or something? And they said, yeah, hell yeah, come on down, we'll get you a cask. We were like, really? Awesome.
I was just fucking around, buddy. You gotta take this seriously.
He
That's
said
fine.
yes. So we got really excited, and we put a couple of casks together. I remember, and I always say this, and Tim's gonna be mad because I always remind him of this, but we didn't breathe one of our casks properly, and it blew up in our basement. So there was this, beer everywhere. I think it was the IPA, and it was there's beer everywhere, and still to this day, like when I move certain things in the basement, I can still see like the littlest splatter from that, like 2011. I'm like, wow. And I'm like,
That really got everywhere.
it really did. Like, it was just, wow. But, so we did that. And when we, we're at the festival, and people are trying the beer, and they're going crazy for the beer. They're like, this is delicious. Who the fuck are you
Do you remember what year
guys?"
that was? Because
That
I've been
was
to a lot of them. And I'm trying to think.
2011.
I might have been to that one.
Yes, I remember.
I was at the one I remember most distinctly. There's a lot I don't remember.
Yes.
Was the one Montauk. It was their first time.
Oh, okay.
And they did driftwood with actual burnt driftwood.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's probably like
you'd
2012,
think that sounds
2013
great.
maybe.
Probably sounds good.
It sounded good on paper. I had to taste it. But it tasted like I ate campfire. And that's cool, but it was a little too sharp, and it was a little too dark. But
I was
other than
gonna
that,
say,
I mean,
I've had that burnt flavor fall into my beer, and it didn't taste that good.
yeah,
so.
it's cool to have that like I get the smoky concept, but when you put too much of that and then it's too sharp and it tastes like you're chewing on charcoal. But that was the one I most distinctly remember. But I've been to a number of them, so
Yeah, that was the best. We had gone to many of them. Like, I think starting in 2008 was my first one. Yeah, and then I think we went up until the buyout. Yes, I think it was like 2012.
So would you
2013.
end up pouring that day? Do you remember?
We had Useful Idiot, which was like ended up being like one of our first like flagships.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
That's great, and it's actually so funny. Like I felt like we came full circle. Last night I'm watching Homeland, and the name of the
That's
episode.
the-
No,
is
no
Yes,
spoilers.
that's
No
right.
spoilers.
Yeah, I was. Oh
No, I'm
no,
just
I'm not. Okay.
I worked last night, too.
Oh, all right.
And we watch it
I
tonight.
haven't
Now
watched any of it yet.
Christina's pissed at me.
So
My wife's
good.
pissed at me because
It's a big one.
I'm doing this tonight, and then tomorrow we can't watch it either for some odd and unusual reason. Oh, I have open house at my school, and then Wednesday. So it's gonna be like Thursday or Friday, and she's already gotten spoiled. She said, "I'm like, God damn it."
Just don't go on the
No,
internet.
let
at
me
all.
tell you.
No, I can't.
Let me tell you.
I don't even watch
I've
TV.
learned this a long time ago with my wife. She watches it with me,
Yeah.
but she's watched it already.
Right.
She just keeps
What's with
it
it?
quiet.
Right,
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't see.
She
this.
keeps it under the
Right.
reps. I think I've done that once back in the days of 24. I would watch that and I go, "Oh yeah, we didn't catch that episode." I know I totally watched it. Sorry,
Out there.
totally watched that episode. And I'd like bring up like, yeah, I think like Tony, he's got to be the guy. And she's like, "No, there's no way it's Tony." I'm like, "I don't know, it's just a theory. It could be Tony."
It's the
And
way
all
you
of a sudden,
looked
it's
at Jack
fucking
in that
Tony.
one
She's like,
scene.
"How did you know?" I go, I can see things."
Get in the writer's head.
Yeah, fucking Tony.
24 was such a great show. Oh my God.
So the collective itself, how many members are there currently?
Currently, there's 6. When we first started out, when we changed from homebrew club to actual business, we were 9.
Okay.
And we got a couple. You know, it progressed throughout the years, and then our current lineup is 6, and it's been 6 for several years
Now, as part of being in the collective, do you have financial obligations to the collective? Like, how does, and I'm not trying, don't give me numbers, but just business-wise, how does that all work? Does everyone
Right.
share in the profits, and how do they
Yes.
get in? Can they become a member? Is it something where they'd have to? At this point, it's like a very tight, group. I would assume.
Well, I'll say this:
6
we're,
is the
we're,
max,
yeah,
I
we're
think.
6 now. We'll never be more than 6
Okay.
again. We'll likely maybe one day be less than 6.
So
Who knows?
9
I
didn't
don't
work
wanna-
out, obviously. So
Well,
what was
yeah, it would have worked out.
things that could have happened?
Well,
Personal things.
Oh,
like,
so
like
like things
uh,
came up in their life.
career
Their
moves
life
of starting a
didn't
family,
progress
you
with
know.
what we were doing,
Yes.
and
Okay.
they decided that their path wasn't with us.
Right, right.
Well, true, yeah,
That's
because I
fine.
mean, it's not only is it a financial obligation, it's a time obligation.
And
Yeah,
not
oh,
that
yeah.
they're
I would
not
imagine
all
they're not a
friends
small
still
one.
because
Yeah.
everybody's still
Yeah,
friends.
no one's ever
so
parted on like
yeah.
because like, hey,
That's
you're
good.
an
It was
asshole.
a
you
mutual
know.
thing.
It was-
Just
yeah.
they can't devote
Life,
that much
yeah,
of that time.
no,
They
absolutely.
had other things going on in their life, and at that point, that's what they were focusing on.
I guess that my question earlier was going to be: so you guys, when you were spending time brewing before you became a business, there had to be a lot of money invested in all that. It had to be a lot of
Yeah, we
time and
started,
money. And what were people doing for jobs? And
Well, yeah,
We
like
at
all
21,
have
I
yeah,
jobs.
had
everybody works full time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Yeah.
this is our side
Still
hustle.
Nobody-
to this
you know,
time.
to
it's
this
nice.
day.
To this
We
day,
all
yeah,
have a
it's
job
one hell
that
of
we
a
go
side
to
hustle.
Monday through Friday.
Right,
Very
okay.
expensive side hustle.
How do you manage all that? And
It's a lot.
And the kids, yeah.
And the kids.
I mean,
yes,
I
yeah.
bartend. I have a full-time job, and I bartend 2 nights a week, and I want to kill myself.
It's
I'm-
exhausting.
it's
yeah.
too
well,
much.
I mean,
I work
I'm-
from home 5 days a week, and I have this, and I'm like,
I envy you.
no, I'm not doing
This is
enough.
too much for me.
I'm doing enough.
I envy you.
He works in his shorts.
I would be
Oh.
drinking beer all day. That would
Uh,
be my problem.
There's a kegerator like 5 steps away from my desk.
Yeah,
Now
that's
you're-
it.
now
I'd
you're
have the
talking.
hose hooked up to right next to my bed.
Yeah,
desk.
just-
I'd have the shakes by noon.
Nice. No, it's
Just saying.
it's not easy. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of
you're
time.
yeah, you're constantly going. I mean, I'm so happy to be home with my girls during the week. You know, I mean, they're at school, but you know, when they're home, because I mean, come Friday, I'm at the tasting room. Like I'll do 24 hours in 2 days. You know, like it's just always there. And Tim's at the brewery. You know, 3-4 nights a week. All the guys are at the brewery at
So
night.
you guys,
know.
do you guys hire bartenders? Or you guys bartending yourself? How
We
are
bartend
you?
ourselves.
Yeah.
We do have a
She
few
served me on
people-
Friday.
Yeah, I
Nice.
sure did.
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah, no, it was good. And we do have a few beer tenders helping us out.
Okay, good.
And that's just a very recent addition, actually. So.
Well, just because you guys would like to take at least one
yeah, it's
Saturday
nice
to
to have
yourself.
Actually,
like,
at the
yeah.
point when we moved into the when we decided we were going to move into the new tasting room, someone had to build it, so I took on that
And
lead.
he
Nice.
built the whole
I was
thing.
me and Sarah running the tasting room
Yeah.
pretty
Okay.
much.
We were Friday night buddies.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Forever.
Friday
like,
night, yeah, they were
I
fun.
know.
They were great.
I was like, I felt like I was like
honestly,
empty
I
in my
miss
heart
them
when
to
he
this
wasn't there.
day, so I'm looking to get back.
Yes.
Building it out took me a couple months. We started in
Which would
November.
have taken an average person
So,
a year. It took him a
From
couple
what I
months.
saw,
Yeah, I
did the
just-
bar move at that point, or was
Oh,
that
no,
that stayed?
we were on the opposite side of the building,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
so that's a whole new space. That was
Gotcha.
actually all offices. So what I did was I came in with my machinery and knocked down some walls
Okay.
and brought in a little mini excavator and
Nice.
Knocked the entire place down in a day. Had it all cleaned out and a
It was
blank
sight to
canvas.
behold.
Demo work is fun, isn't it?
There's a little video
I'm
on
a
our
builder
Instagram. You
by
can actually
trade.
see
I'm
it,
a
yeah.
builder,
Okay.
during the day, so I build big homes
so
in
that
the
was- yeah.
Hamptons. So I
Nice.
have all the resources.
Well,
at
that
my
was easy enough to
fingertips.
find someone to do that for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I always say that.
It
I'm like,
wasn't
Mike,
really-
Mike's the best thing that ever happened to the Brewers Collective. He's
Nah.
literally worth his weight in gold.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's true. I mean,
Pulling your weight. Anybody
lot
not
of
pulling their
gold.
weight, just talk to Mike real quick. He
seriously.
can knock down the
No,
whole
I
building
mean,
next
really
door.
though, I mean, it's so much so that like we had our other people that have businesses in the building, like they go, yo, listen, I just want to tell you that like your guy Mike, man, like he just like I think that guy gets more done before 9 o'clock than I get done in a week, like for real.
That's why you
Like,
need the vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, he
Yeah.
needed that vacation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's
it was
just-
great. 2 weeks off, I'll tell you. It's definitely
Now
deserved.
back to
Yeah.
reality. You're
Yeah,
gonna have like
yeah.
a vacation hangover for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
It's all right though. I'm ready to go back to work. I'm
So
a
what about
worker,
the-
that's what I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
I hear you. I can't stop
I can,
either.
yeah, I can
Just-
go 24 hours a day and not think about rest.
No,
So
but
what are
I'm
the,
on a mission. I'm there.
The profiles of the other people
Right.
in the thing. So you have you and your
yeah,
husband.
so my husband Tim and I
Mhm.
and Mike, and then
And
we
Mike.
have Mike, and then we have Mikey,
Okay.
who's little Mike, big Mike. We have Terry.
You wouldn't get little Mike. It'd be much better. if-
Honestly, if it
Mike
wasn't
was
for
little
little
Mike.
Mike, Big Mike wouldn't even be
Yeah,
here.
they're like
It would just be
yeah,
Mike.
Yeah, they're-
I've
they're
known
like
Mike
bros
since
forever,
I'm like
so.
17,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
me and him.
And then we got Terry, who's I call him my beer dad. And then we have Jason.
Okay.
And so Terry and Mikey both work with Tim. They all work at the same internet It's like a managed land
Okay.
type.
And they all met there, I would assume. Then.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. And for like a long time they'd known each other. And a few of the other guys that were our founders also worked at the same place.
Okay.
But to your point.
So this was like a business. A workplace kind of concept.
Well,
we were sitting
most of
around
the
and-
members came from the workplace, yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, because it's like they're all really good at what they do during the day. So, like, there's sometimes some downtime, you know. Like my husband's a Unix administrator, so like, I mean, that stuff has like up times of like one server was up for 6 years without a single.
Jesus.
Very stable, you know, back
Yeah.
end stuff. And usually people that do the things that my husband does, they're in like a back corner with like very long beards and dark lighting. So he's sort of unique in that way. And,
Those are my
and-
people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I live.
yes. But like I mean they have like serious clients like they have like Lufthansa and like other I don't know if I'm allowed to say that anyway, it's okay. But
We'll bleep it out if you
sorry.
want me to
No,
later.
No, it's fine. It's okay. But like so yeah they so they would talk a lot and do that a lot there. But to answer your question from before, like we are like a true collective. There's 6 of us. We've all paid dues like since the beginning. That's how we sort of built up our initial funding, like to buy merch and equipment for festivals and our festival
Right.
kit and all that stuff. And you know, we continued on until we went, you know, professional, and then you know, obviously we make money now, so you know.
So how long from the moment of inception to the moment of actually making money on doing this?
Right. So we incorporated in 2012. We got our liquor license in 2014. We launched commercially in 2015. And I would say by 2017 we were making money. I mean, like, cause when, yeah, I mean, cause what happened was you know, we poured at the festival. We caught that bug. Like, holy shit! Like, there is no drug in the world that gives you as good a high as it is playing at a you know, pouring at a festival and getting real feedback from people. And people go crazy for your beer. We were the first ones to kick our cask that year.
Nice.
Got up on the table, shook the thing. It was just like, oh my god, like what dreams are made out of. Yeah. And then we caught the bug. They were like, and we like went with Starfish Junction, who does like the Belmont Fest and Nassau and all that. And it just kept getting crazier and crazier. We were like notorious. We're like these, you know, just big group of people all dressed in like red and black and white and like and no one knew what to make of us. Like, who the fuck are these guys? And you know,
The Soviets are coming.
yeah, these commie bastards walking around. And then the logo is very memorable. You know, beer bottle
Absolutely.
and sickle,
Sickle.
and you know, stands out. You know,
Yep.
it's a poppin' logo. So. You know, became notorious. Like we used to bring like this crazy one-off shit because we were a homebrew club at first. So like we had tons of like weird ass sours and like other experimental brews and stuff like that. So started to build a name for ourselves. And then like we sort of started to explore like what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do this? Are we gonna contract brew? You know, we at the time like it was prohibitively expensive to try to even attain a brick and mortar on the island. You know, there
Yeah,
were not
wow.
that many. Like in just like 2013, we started really looking into it. And then, as luck would have it, this guy in Farmingdale, he owned this place called The Taste of Long Island.
Oh yeah, right on
Yeah,
Main Street.
right on
I
Main
live in
Street.
Farmingdale. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
nice,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
so-
a bunch of places started in there.
Oh,
yeah.
they sure did. Yeah,
Yeah.
Farmingdale seems to be like the starting place of all things craft beer. But yeah, so he was like, I'm looking for 2 or 3 startup breweries that want to come in and retrofit this existing commercial kitchen into a micro brew house. He called it.
Was it Lithology started
Yeah,
down there in
yep.
1940s?
Yeah, it was us. Initially, it was us. 1940s. Po' Boy.
Yes.
Yep, and then a
Tweaking
taste
Frog
of-
came in there at one point.
Yes, they came in a little toward so like
Flying Belgian, I think.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Flying
Yeah,
Belgian.
yeah.
you
Yep.
still look them up. They're still literally on the
They're
Google
guest
map.
taps on
Lithology.
Lithology. all the
Oh,
time.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they're building a brewery with Long Beach Brewing Company.
Oh, they are.
in Oceanside.
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
saw
cool.
the
Yeah, yeah.
pouring concrete at that new place they're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're trucking along. They're gonna be. I
They
would
got their
say
tap
6,
handles
8
all
months.
sprayed up
Yeah.
and everything.
Hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. They're good dudes. We were talking to them at the Long Island Craft Beer meeting. But
And they had the glassware, that very distinct glassware that
with
they.
the fish.
No, it's the style of the glass.
Pilsner
Very
glass?
much like what Dogfish did. It's got the really blooming top, but like a very. I'll look it up later. I
right.
forget the name of the glass, but it's very unique. So you kind of get it from that too.
Yeah.
That's what connected with
Tiku
me.
glass, is that it?
No, that's not a taco.
Taku.
No,
I don't know.
not that one either. I'll think of it later.
Yeah, yeah. No, but
Anyway, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, that's all good.
Yeah, a lot of
so-
them came out of that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took us like a year or two to build up that place. It was like a dungeon in the bottom, and we had to we ripped it all out, asbestos included, and yeah, and we sort of because like the storefront was good for like the tasting room and for like the brewing area. Like so the guy Jim who owned it, he bought all the equipment as far as like the boil goes and everything that you would use. But as soon as you pumped down into the fermenter, all that equipment was yours. And
okay.
yeah, and the way that it worked was like you rented shifts. So like for like 6 hours or 8 hours. It was your brewery. It was technically called an alternating proprietorship.
Okay.
And yeah, so we
It's a mouthful.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
How do you
we-
put that down on your taxes?
it was actually
think there's a
I do the
spot for that
taxes. They
there.
were very complex, actually.
Jesus.
But yeah, yeah. So we did that for a spell. Like it took, I think it took about a year to actually retrofit it and turn it into a legit brewery and get the licensing. So we launched in early 2015. We did our launch party at the Nutty Irishman in
Nice.
Farmingdale
Yep.
because that was the only place that was big enough to hold all 3 of
Yep.
us. 4 of us, I guess technically. And yeah, that was good. And then we focused then, our goal was to get as many commercial and wholesale accounts as possible. We wanted to be in a bunch of different restaurants and bars, get all the different brews that we had been working on. We took really like the best recipes from our homebrew days and brought them into commercial, territory. And it was a huge success. Everyone loved the beer. It was really easy to maintain accounts. And I think we brewed there for about a year. And then actually that's when Mike came out at the end of August. It was like May of 2015, I would say. And yeah, and then it was like, all right, well, I think it's time. I think we can do this. So then we found a place in Bayshore, signed that lease in the end of 2015, and yeah, then we were in construction and the new place for the first brewery in Bayshore for about a little over a year.
Yeah, it was a little more than a year and a half.
Yeah.
And at that time, were you still?
To get the town to give us the proper, because we got to change use of the building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the whole thing.
Right, I'm a part of
From
the building.
industrial
so-
to commercial.
Yeah.
And from industrial.
It was light industrial.
light
to,
Light
industrial,
industrial
to
to
retail, right?
industrial 2 with retail. Industrial 1 with retail.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And were you still like brewing at?
No,
t-
we had
so
to we
you
had to
stopped for-
stop.
We- yeah,
it
we
was,
pulled
it was
out.
heartbreaking. It was like
Yeah.
because like you had to it was like a point where you sign on to like be there for like another year.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, well, we're not going to do both. So, and then at that point, like it was almost like we were like the first class of Saved by the Bell, and then like the new class came in that was like lithology and Tweaking Frog and all that. And then I think that place actually ended up going. The guy wanted out of the business.
Yep,
and
and
lithology.
now it's just lithology,
Yeah,
right.
they took over the lease,
Yep.
and good for them. And they
Yeah.
actually opened up, I think, within a year of us leaving. They were there.
Yeah, they were
And
open
they went through a big
were
refit,
couple
they
months,
changed-
they
yeah.
changed the name.
Yep.
And yep,
We were
that's
there
right.
within the first few months of the brewery opening.
But yeah, before
when
they
we went.
changed it open, yeah.
Which was
they-
2015.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I work
Yeah.
at the meatball place across the street.
Oh,
that's
shit,
that's my
okay,
Sunday night
nice.
place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have
So
not
that's
been
where I
to the
was
one in
last night.
Farmingdale, only the one in Patchogue.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
Well,
good place.
I walked
nice.
by it on Saturday night and said, nope. Nope, that's why I don't work there on Friday and Saturday nights. I'm not 22 anymore.
Oh my God.
And I'm not going to go woo on the bar. Nope.
It is a No,
Where's
it's
the
Our
Tito's
shit
at?
show. It is
it
a
is
shit
a shit
show.
show. It is
Oh,
not for
man.
me anymore.
No.
That's I'm too old.
That's
for
we
that.
stayed away from that on St. Patrick's Day too.
Yeah, and
Oh, my.
Pete and I went out in Farmingdale with our
Nice.
wives on St. Patrick's Day, and we just stayed clear of the high traffic areas.
saw some guy get into a fight with an Uber driver.
Yeah.
It was
A couple
God.
accidents,
Nice.
police
like
everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like
funny. Like
anymore.
we were picking out towns to do Long Island Craft Beer Week, and Farmingdale, like one for Nassau. Like it was like it's like Farmingdale and Patchogue. We're gonna do it, for
Yeah.
the two like town takeovers. So, yeah, that's
We're looking
cool.
forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, we're trying to get in on that somehow, some way. We got a couple of spokespeople for us now, so
Great.
hopefully we can get in there. We might do a live broadcast from one of those spots.
Absolutely, you can come.
Be
come
awesome.
broadcast at the brewery.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
that's a thought too. We
Yeah,
might
why not?
actually consider that as well. We're not gonna be able to just lift this whole table out
no,
and come with us,
probably
but
not.
we'll have a
yeah.
little bit of a slimmed down setup. But we
Yeah,
could actually do that.
satellite setup.
Good thing is we have some promotional banners and stuff like that.
Yes.
We're not going to be unnamed, like
Nope.
just some dudes at a table with some microphones in front of them. So, and we'll have some giveaway stuff hopefully. So we'll put all that together in the next few weeks and see how the rest of it goes.
That's awesome.
But that's going to be exciting. Craft Beer Week on Long Island
Yeah.
is bigger and bigger every single
Every
year.
year.
Every year there's new names on the list. Every year there's something new to be excited about. You guys are expanding in the last year or two, and
It's been it's a good time to be in beer. That is for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, craft beer
How
on
many members are in the guild now? On Long
gosh.
Island.
I don't know how many people are like active, like chartered members, but I mean, there's 42 breweries active on the
Yeah,
island
dude,
now.
yeah.
41, and there's a number of them that are in planning and that are about to,
Right.
oh yeah. So I would imagine
did James
by next
Port
year
get in there
they're
finally?
open.
They're
Yep,
in.
yep, they're fully open. I think they opened maybe last year.
You got Seaford, Long Beach. These are up
Small
and coming.
craft just opened.
Small craft
just
just
opened.
opened.
Yep.
Root and Branch is looking for somewhere.
Yes.
Well,
I
I think they like being I mean, from
They're
what I
gypsy
read,
brewing
they
right now, I
like
think.
doing that.
Mm-hmm.
They like being like here and there and everywhere. Like no one sees who they are. Sneak in, brew, run out.
Yeah, they did
kinda
a
like
release
that,
at
but-
Great South Bay, like right up the street from us.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I got to try some of the cans because people were at the release. And
Well,
they
did you
came to
see what
ours.
happened?
I
Did you see the
did.
release? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So tell me about that process,
Yeah.
because and tell Pete what had happened, because I read the post and I went, I never thought about that because most of the canning process and these guys are almost flawless. I've never really gotten a bad can.
Well, yeah, I mean, we actually don't have a lot of experience with the mobile canning line yet. We're not quite at that level. Like we have an October canner.
Okay.
So we do it
can
like
16 ounces on site.
Okay.
at a
Yeah.
time. Like it's like the same like kind of how you do a crowler. It's the same kind of technology. So
Right.
we purchase a can with CO2 and sanitized can with CO2, and then we fill it up, cap it, seal it, label it. And it's a bit of a slower process, but you're
Yeah.
getting it fresh from the taps. What they were doing is they're doing like I guess 30 barrels at a time, so much bigger setup, and they're going right from their bright tank, pumping that straight into cans with a big old mobile canning line, and there's a
It was
lot of
Maltman,
ins-
I would love to
Maltman,
see
I
that.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think it was
think that's who
Maltman.
they
I'd love to
use.
see
And
that
that's
process.
who
That's gotta
I
It's
be
really cool.
Isn't that who Dan used? Was Dan
Yes.
using
Yes.
Maltman?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, he never had
And
anything
Steve
to say.
too.
Oh yeah, Steve was doing that
Yeah.
too.
Most of the
From
guys
Barrage,
do it.
yeah.
Dubco uses Maltman also.
Yeah.
And Mustache for that matter. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah. So they're
yeah,
busy.
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah. No,
Shit.
they're really good, and we've heard like really good things about them. But I think what happened in that case was there might have been a slight oxidation
Right.
issue. So I guess.
So what does that mean to the beer?
So like you don't want oxygen to touch your beer like before it's sealed in a can. Like it's either in a keg or in a can or in whatever vessel. As it gets oxygenated, it's going to rapidly spoil and deteriorate the quality of the beer. So like you could see in that post, like they were showing like even the differentiation in color.
Right.
That
yeah,
has
yeah.
to do with the oxidation.
One was a nice gold, and the other one turned a little orange and
Right.
dark brown, and
so
it
that's
started
like chemical reaction.
Right.
That's some getting into some chemistry shit that I don't get. But that's more of a Tim question. But So that
That's
happened.
interesting. Like I haven't seen anyone, at least on Long Island, post anything or claim that has happened to their thing. I'm sure everyone quality controls.
Yeah, I mean it happens. Like I know like Port Jeff had an issue a few years back with I think one of their stouts or something like that, and it's happened. It's just part of the business, But like the breweries here that I've seen, they all do the right thing. They're like,
Right.
hey, listen, you have an infected can, or if that's not to your liking, email us. We'll hook you up, no problem. It ain't like that, So. Like I'm sure if it was a big old scale, like if like other half had like a problem or something with their can, that'd probably be a big fucking deal.
Can you imagine?
But
The internet would explode.
pretty much, yeah.
The beer trading explode. Oh my God, I'm in Pennsylvania. I got other half, and now I told
I stood
Brown.
on line for 7 hours.
Oh.
My beer sucks.
F that. F that.
But So yeah, no, but
Awesome.
yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take a break, and we're going to open up some beer
All right.
because we spent 40 minutes without a taste of beer in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm all
I'm
parched
starting to
and
shake.
stuff.
I just left the brewery, so
Yeah,
I
so
got like 6
you
beers.
just
Yeah,
We're
nice.
good.
filling it in there.
This guy was, double fisted before I got it.
You got him in.
Jealous.
All right, we'll come
All
right
right, back in a
back
bit.
Okay.
with more. This is the Wort with Mike and Pete. We're here with Sarah, Mike, and Chris. Sarah and Mike from the Brewers Collective. Give us a call on our next segment. We'll talk to you, 516-465-3990 or 516-513-0515. If you have a pen, write it down. If you don't, I'm going to try to get some graphics up on our YouTube stream and put the phone number and the links up there. And also, we're always streaming on govsradio.com, here, now, and forever.
Govs Radio.
This is the Wort on Govs Radio.